Today on the channel, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's another Superman unboxing and review. And today from DC McFarlane Multiverse, we got Action Comics #1, Superman, and we got Superman Hush Edition.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another DC Multiverse unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got a double dose of Superman. What a time to be alive. But remember, for all your Superman needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Got to get a deal out there, and that's exactly what I did. I got both of these Superman figures from there at the exact same time. I guess I'm all in on some Superman as of late, and I figured I'd unbox them here together on the channel. So, of course, we're going to do this unboxing like we do all the other ones on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And I guess we'll go in chronological order. Does that sound all right? I guess we'll go to Action Comics #1, the Superman, the most famous comic book of all time, very arguably, I guess. But I think it is the comic book that is worth the most amount of money. So, got to be right up there. And definitely an interesting one. Definitely not the most iconic Superman to most people, I don't think, unless you're, my grandpa's age, maybe, possibly. But definitely iconic in its own way. Definitely the one that started it all for Superman. There's no doubt about it there. So really cool to get this in action figure form. And I wouldn't be opposed to like first appearance Batman, Green Lantern, all the heavy hitters from the Justice League, maybe from McFarlane. And you get a little shelf together of all the first appearances. I think that might be a cool thing. And I'm sure they will do that. We know how Todd McFarlane puts stuff out on a regular basis. So I'm sure we'll see that one of these days here. This is a collector's edition. We've been seeing this as of late. We've unboxed a few of these. One thing this has differently that I'm not a huge supporter, I don't know about supporter, but huge fan of, is these little card stands. I'm just not going to display it with a card, taking up that valuable real estate, but it is interesting for those that I guess want to there. So you choose your own adventure with those cards if you want to. You get the collector's edition on the side, DC Multiverse. These are $30 price points, so I see what they're doing here. You put this little collector's edition thing there, you give us a little stand, and all of a sudden it's a $30 price point. I don't know, you guys tell me, I guess, on that one. But DC Multiverse, got that new Superman logo kind of down low there. McFarlane Toys, of course, 22 points of articulation. Action Comics #1, there it is. And on the side, get the little window box letting some light in there. This is #1, I forgot to mention, so they are numbered on these. 12 and up, as they do say. And then you got the glamour shot on the back there of the comic book from Action Comics #1. Superman saving the day for the first time ever. How about that? How about that? And of course, everybody knows who Superman is, as we do know. Possibly and most likely the most famous, see you later, superhero of all time is Superman. I mean, everybody knows Superman. Everybody just does. It's one of those things. Everybody knows it. So, do get a stand. Do get a flight stand as well. So, I like this double dipping stand idea here. I'm not opposed to that. See you later. Goodbye. Definitely not opposed to that at all. You guys know I love a good stand. There he is, old Action Comics #1 right there. We're going to bust him out. And, of course, he's twist-tied in. It wouldn't be McFarlane without all the twist ties. All the twist ties you could ever want is what we got going on here. Pop that out. Hopefully I don't cut my fingers off. But like I always say, if I do, I do. And we'll roll with it. We'll just power through until the bleeding stops or until the review's over. That's what we're going to do here. There it is. I think we're ready to go. Pop this bad boy out. We'll take a look at that. And this one here, possibly, there it is. Twist ties everywhere. See you later. Put a little spin on it. You gotta put some spin on it from time to time, as we do know. But let's dive into these accessories here. Now, we do get the flight stand. Always like that we get a flight stand with a lot of our DC guys. I do say, though, I've had a few early ones that this has kind of fallen apart. It's kind of gotten too weak over the years, and it doesn't hold anymore, so your mileage may vary, but it is a nice DC stand. You can put them in the air. You can put them on the stand down here. Pull this out, use it as just a plain stand. A lot of versatility here. There's something to be said about these stands with these figures. I really do appreciate that. We do get the traditional stand here. McFarlane got the DC colored in on this one. That's kind of a nice little change of pace as well. Then we get these little stands here. It does say DC, just a little extra plastic here. And honestly, I'd rather them take $1 or $2 off the cost of the figure than put this stand in here, but it is what it is. We do get the Action Comics #1 card right here, looking good. We know that familiar artwork. Does say on the back, real name Kal-El, Clark Kent, the tip of the spear in the revolution that would change the landscape of pop culture. Superman has spent the last 80 years redefining what it means to stand for truth, justice, and the American way. The last survivor of the doomed planet Krypton, raised in the quiet heartland of Smallville, Kansas. Beautiful this time of year. Shout out to Kansas. I think I'm headed down to Manhattan, Kansas sometime in October, so Manhattan, gonna take you by storm. Gonna see what your Wildcats are all about, I guess. Superman is as much a legend as he is a man, the gold standard of heroism, compassion, and responsibility. Through his powers make him godlike next to his human compatriots. Superman's story is not one of greed or conquest. Instead, he strives to represent the inherent goodness of the human spirit and the capacity of every living thing to do right by their neighbor. So, sounds real good. It's basically living by the golden rule is what we're trying to do there. And we should all live by the golden rule. I know I try to every single day, if at all possible. But here it is. My grandma's very proud of me. She was very proud of me, that's for sure. So I always try to keep that legacy alive. Keep old Grandma Peterson's legacy alive. Shout out to Grandma Peterson all day. But we get Superman out of the package right here, looking exceptionally good. Definitely feels like Superman, definitely looks different than what we think of in Superman. It's just kind of funny how that goes. When I close my eyes, like I do many a night, and I think of Superman, I think of more the 80s, 90s versions of Superman. Death of Superman or old school Super Friends, Superpower Superman. That's what I think of. Now, younger than me, maybe you're thinking of modern day Superman. Or, like I said earlier, my grandpa, he's in his late 90s. He's still hitting it hard in his late 90s. If he thinks of Superman, you know what? I'm going to ask him next time I see him if this is the Superman he thinks of. Because, they said Superman's 80 years old, so he was, in his teens when Superman just dropped on the world. This might be Superman to my grandpa. So I need to find out. I need to follow up on that one. Just personally, I need to follow up on that one. We'll see what happens. It definitely looks like Superman. You definitely got, I guess we'll start with the head as we usually do. Definitely looks like Superman. You could pass it off as Superman, but a little bit more blocky in the head style. But once again, we got to go back to that old school artwork. So that's kind of how it was drawn. That's how it looks. A little bit of a sun-kissed tan here. Just a little bit of a sun-kissed tan going on. But it definitely looks like Superman. Definitely looks like Superman you could set your watch to. I do got a little paint spot on his cheek. See if I can get that off, hopefully. We do get a cape with Superman. Of course, what is Superman without a cape? No insignia on the back there, but it looks like there's a spot for it, so you know it's all about the reuse at the end of the day. But it is a nice cape here. I don't hate these capes. I don't know. I go back and forth with McFarlane. Sometimes I really do wish they'd give us more cloth goods, and then sometimes I kind of like the flowing nature of these. Just depends on the cape. It's a cape-by-cape basis is what we do here on the channel. Now, we do get this... I guess chain wrapped around him here. I do think that is kind of a nice touch. I don't know if we've seen this before. This is one of those things you could get some reuse out of as well. You want to put this on a villain, you want to put this on somebody, you definitely could. But it is plastic. It is hard plastic, but it's a little pliable, much like the capes we've seen in the past. Definitely a different accessory, though, and definitely one I will display with him on there. Then you get down to the Superman costume, a very baby blue color against that red, definitely striking. Definitely looks like Superman, but definitely looks different because it is the first appearance once again. That Superman logo really does throw you for a loop. I mean, I've seen that logo before, but like most of us, I would say almost everybody watching this, yeah, it's Superman's logo, but when we think of Superman's logo, I don't know if anybody thinks of this first. Once again, I have to call up my grandpa and see what he says. You get the yellow belt, you got the nice red underwear, and then you got the blue color throughout. Arms do go all the way around. You do get the butterfly shoulders, back and forth bicep cut. Double jointed elbows right there. Hands back, forth, side to side. You get one kind of splayed out hand. You got one fist of fury. Superman's got to be throwing them punches. He's ready to do it if he needs to. Hula hoop up top, of course. Head back, forth, side to side. Plenty of movement out of the head. You do get a little waist articulation there. You get the big old Superman splits if you need them. No thigh cut on this one, but you do get the double jointed knees once again. Ankles back, forth, side to side. Plus the patented Todd McFarlane toe articulation. How about that? And I'm sure he's going to fit on this DC stand. Why wouldn't he? What do you know? There he is. First appearance Superman. A very interesting figure. Is it a must-have? Well, if you're a Superman fan, I'd have to say that is a must-have figure. It is the first appearance, and if he's your favorite, you got to have that represented in your collection. So a pretty tippy-top figure at the end of the day, and like I said, my goal and hope, I guess my hope more like it, for McFarlane Toys is give us a first appearance Hawkman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Batman, Robin, and we'll be able to put all these guys together. The Flash, I mean, so on and so on. I think that'd be a cool little shelf display out there. So we'll see what happens, and we'll stay tuned to that in the future. Now we're going to stay tuned to another Superman. It's all coming up Superman here today. We're going back to the Hush line. Of course, the Hush comic, very popular. We've had Hush Batman figures, things like that. So now we're getting Superman thrown into the mix. Definitely a more iconic Superman to somebody like me, but definitely a little different than this one. There's no doubt about it. We get a little accessories in there, the blue background, big old bubble window, DC Multiverse, that new Superman logo they're putting on packaging, 22 points of articulation, all the fun. Superman Hush, Superman on that side, and then on the back, a little black and white drawing on the back. How about that? A little something different there. Let's see what's going on. I'm interested to see what the card says on this one. It's just going to be the generic Superman story again, or a little bit more details. We'll see what happens. And we'll also see you later. Goodbye. Can I get it out? Can I not be a rookie? Oh, no rookie moves here today. Nuh-uh. I'm a professional. Getting this pulled off the card. There it goes. See you later. Once again, we get the flight stand. Same exact flight stand. However, there is a little difference here. The DC logo has coloring on this one. This is a white DC logo. So choose your DC logo adventure, really, at the end of the day, I guess we'll say. And, of course, we got the plastic prison. There's old Soups looking good, looking like he was going to hush, like he's going to tell somebody to be quiet. That's what he's going to do. Hush Superman. Let's see what it says here. Real name, Kal-El Clark Kent. Here it is, once again, sent to Earth from dying planet of Krypton as a baby. Kal-El was found by farmers Martha and Jonathan Kent and raises their son Clark. As Clark grew up, the radiation from Earth's yellow sun gave him extraordinary powers, which he kept hidden. Now fully grown, he uses his power to protect his adopted world as Superman. So once again, a little generic action there. Would have liked a little bit more detail, like what's going on with Hush? What's the story? What's Superman's role in Hush? For those that are not familiar with Hush, it might be an introduction to the storyline, which could cause people to possibly buy the comic or search it out, things like that. And I don't know if McFarlane gets paid off of any of that either. I guess that's another thing. Why is he going to promote DC Comics if he's not getting paid for the comic stuff? He's getting paid for the figure stuff. So I get that a little bit as well. So it's just kind of choose your own adventure, as they always say here. I'll get this cape through, maybe. Maybe. There we go. See you later. Goodbye. All right. Twist ties all over the place. Move those out of the way. Let's get down to business. We do get two splayed out hands for Superman. If he wants to fly through the air, we got that going on. That's a must for Superman. And then the other must, two Fists of Fury. And I always love the fists on these Superman figures. We've had them a few different times. They got a nice size to them. A nice meaty fist is what we get with Superman. So I'm definitely here for that. Now we get Superman out of the package, and definitely an interesting one here. Now, once again, it looks a lot like Superman. Kind of got that blocked out face a little bit. Got almost like shading, some interesting kind of shading, almost patchy kind of pink a little bit, just a hair when you look at it, but definitely an interesting facial features on him. Skin tone is a little bit, I don't know what the skin tone, it's like, it feels like it's not super white, but it's not super tan. I guess it's kind of almost gray in the middle. It almost looks like he's slowly turning into a zombie or something. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but it's not bad. It works with this. And of course the costume works as well. You get the darker blue where you get the baby blue over here. You get the more iconic, at least to me, darker blue here with the red. You get the yellow belt, the red boots, the red. More iconic Superman logo for me as well. And on the back, we've got Superman on the cape. We got the little logo back there, which we do not always get. Unfortunately, I got a little paint, a little extra red paint right there on the crest. So that's unfortunate as well. Articulation looks to be the exact same. Butterfly shoulders, arms go around, bicep cut, double jointed elbows, hands removable, back forth, side to side, all kinds of movement out of that hand. Hula hoop at the top, head back forth, side to side, all the movement you could need right there. Big old splits, and then, of course, the double jointed knees, ankles back forth, side to side, and the patented McFarlane toe articulation, a must-have there as well. So Hush Batman looking... Hush Batman, that's a hard habit to break. Hush Superman, definitely looking interesting right here. Definitely a nice Superman. The head is a little wonky. It's just not quite. I think of a more slim, not more blockish like head. But once again, this is the Hush representation, so you got to take that for what it's worth. But a very plain Jane set your watch to Superman, and there's a lot of people that are looking for a defining Superman in their collection, and I guarantee there's some people that this could be their defining Superman once again at the end of the day. I'm going to throw him on a stand just so he'll stand for me. There we go. Superman looking only like a Superman could look right here. And, of course, we got Action Comics #1. And then I should grab, if I can find him, here's the last Superman we unboxed on the channel. Uh-oh, took a header off there. This is the last Superman we unboxed on the channel. It was the Target exclusive, I believe, 2-pack with Doomsday. So, same exact figure here, some different hands going on. Different head, of course, different skin tone, a little tanner. I like the tanner skin tone on this one, but obviously this is the battle damaged Superman, and I'm definitely here for that when he's squaring off against Doomsday. That is not too bad, not too shabby, really, at the end of the day right there. And we're talking about Hush, and we're not talking about Deep Purple's Hush. We're talking about Hush, the comic book. And I do got the Batman, I do got that aftermarket cloth cape on this one, so as I try to get it kind of straightened up here, but definitely pretty cool with the cloth cape. I like cloth capes a lot of times, especially on my Batman character, so had to add that one. We did a video on the Hush Batman and the extra accessory packs and stuff for those. But now you got Hush Superman, you got Hush Batman. We're building out that Hush universe at the end of the day. But an interesting one today, no doubt about it. 2 strong Superman figures. I was going to say contenders. Contenders for what? I'm not exactly sure. But 2 strong Superman figures. Definitely would recommend both of these ones. Depends which kind of Superman you're looking for. Depends how deep down the Superman rabbit hole you want to go. But the Action Comics #1 is pretty cool. Very iconic. It definitely feels like something different. And I always like a little something different from time to time. So that definitely fits that. And not a bad Hush Superman either. So there it is. A little Superman DC Multiverse McFarlane toys today. What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course you made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day and then some. And we got even more content for you on Patreon. Patreon, of course, the best way to support this very YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. And you can also support the channel over at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, and don't forget social media. SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Instagram and on Threads. So for Superman, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.